All right, we we're here. Thank you for coming out again. If you have not liked, subscribed, uh, hit that button. If you have not shared this with your friends, make sure you share it with your friends. It's Tech Stocks and Jobs. We're back again this week. Uh, Again, we come with a packed show. We try to share as much information as we can, give you something to think about, give you something to look at, and give some food for thought. If you are part of our Slack group, wake all your friends up, let them know that we're live. All right, let's get started. All right, so today we're gonna open up with something that I was excited about. It's called Lilium Jet. So Lilium Jet. Let me pull this over to here. All right, so Lilium Jet is part of this new SPAC that's coming out. But what's really cool about them is this: they're actually testing flights here in Tampa, in St. Pete, going back and forth. But it is a 5-person or 5-seater, pretty much robo taxi. And that's pretty cool. I got some clips for them taking flight, so we'll check that out as well too. But it's super cool. So let me put my glasses on too, so I can see. All right, right here. So Lilium unveiled a prototype for a 5-seat battery powered aircraft that takes off vertically like a helicopter, and that is said to be able to transition to flying a wing like an airplane for 300 kilometers, roughly the distance from New York to Boston, at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour, or 186 miles per hour. Farther and faster than most other electric air taxi startups are aiming. So there are other air taxi startups that we probably need to be aware of and probably need to look out for. Those big claims. The CEO, his name is Wiegand. I got his line. No, it's not line. I'll forget his first name. I'll look him up again. But anyway, he's 35. He's raised $390 million in venture capital from China, Skype. But there's more to this that's really gonna set this off for you. Which has raked in $820 million and is reportedly also exploring going public through a reverse merger with a SPAC that could value at $5 billion. All right, so let's take a look at their flight. So here's what it looks like, and you see it raising up, and you see it flying around. But what else is really cool about this as well is the fact that this is something that's being set up for consumers, pretty much to purchase. So having a flight, say from Boston to New York, or from just going from, say, in Tampa to Orlando, that's going to be really huge. So just something to think about. Let's get into some other videos that I found on them.
The Chinese passenger drone company Ehang's stock
so this is a little bit out, and Dee has the link. She can post the links, but check out again, it's in a SPAC, and they're getting ready to IPO with this SPAC. Now the big one with this is who has made purchases for this particular one. So the people who have already made purchases out of this, they found this guy called Lionel Wallace, and Lionel Wallace was part of I think he was at Raytheon. He's a brother, but he's now over the airworthiness. He's an airworthiness engineer at this particular company. But what's really cool about it is Raytheon and several other government contractors, including United, have already made purchases for this particular unit. So just something to be aware of there. So here is their LinkedIn. You can check them out and what they have going over. Their co-founder Daniel Wiegand. Got some investments in some other things. Remo Gerber. So that's something to be aware of. So what do we always do? We like to talk about careers. All right. So I went to their site to check out what kind of careers that they had. And let's scroll down because I think it's on the actual page. Let me double verify that. Maybe not. I think all their stuff was in Munich. Let me see if I just type in engineer. There you go. All right. So they had everything I found for them was in Munich. Chief engineer, flight mechanic, hardware, electronic design, lead software engineer. But what I have a feeling that's going to happen is as they start to invest in, as investors in the U.S. start to buy and purchase these particular ones, they're going to have to be serviced here in the United States. So if you're I would have to assume there's some type of GPS, there's some type of IoT of things going into this, several other stuff when you're talking about this Lilium. There's system engineers, technical operator, it's a slew of things. I would assume that this will have to be built in the United States if we want to start cutting down costs. So that's why you'll probably see something like a Boeing or a Raytheon getting in on this spec in order to get that going. I found this pretty cool. I would love to take a flight. I think the flight from they were touting like Tampa to Orlando was something like 30 minutes. It takes like 2.5 hours to drive. It good with traffic, to get there. But I would like something like this. So that's Lilium Jet. You can look up. I didn't keep the spec of where that came out of. I apologize for that. The next one that I want to go over is ACHR. All right, so let me pull this over to here because I'm going to read. So ACHR is the leader of Urban Air Mobility. UAM is a space commercializing electric vertical takeoff. It's called EVTOL. It has entered into the business. Their trading agreement. They're on a ticker under ACIC. They're gonna combine, so that's gonna switch over to their new ticker, which is ACHR, and that usually happens on the mergers. The business combination agreement is expected to be approximately 1.1 billion of gross proceeds to the company. And here we go right here. They're saying that they're going in with investors with United Airlines, Stellantis, the venture arm of ACHR, Baron Capital, and then Federated Hermes Kaufman Fund. And they went into a little bit more down here on the information. So let's click open this. I'll move this back. Come on, you can do it. And let me grab this link too from TechCrunch while that opens up. So hold on, let me get that in there. All right, so ACHR, a leading urban air mobility company to list on the NYSE through merger with Atlas Investment. This is where this is the link I pulled that information I just read from. And you get a picture here of their rendering of what they look like. So this is what they look like for urban air mobility through a merger with Atlas Crest Investment Corp. You can pull down the picture for that. So here's the order. ACHR lands 1.8 billion from United Airlines in this SPAC deal. ACHR Aviation, the electronic aircraft startup targeting the urban air mobility market. Again, we're talking now instead of taking those little short drives, you could probably fly. All right. So again, we talked about the proceeds and so forth. Out of Palo Alto, you can see here's a better picture of what it looks like. Pretty slick, vertical takeoff. I can see people starting to buy these, as your broke college student as I am, this is a shout out for Crystal. I would love to have one of these. Maybe we could start a GoFundMe for Tam to do that. But again, vertical takeoff, nice looking little vehicle there. All right. So what else about this particular one? Let's look up and see if we can find ACIC on the ticker. Let's go Yahoo Finance. Let's keep it simple. And let me know if it's something that we have not covered that you all wanted us to cover. And so we'll make sure that we cover that. So it's saying it's going to combine to ACHR, but let's look up ACIC real quick, see if we can find anything. Okay, so here we go. ACIC. So look, you can see the trades here from this over a 5-day. This is over a month. You see a big jump right here. So it looks like it was flat in January, and then I guess maybe some type of announcement came out, and now they've shot up. Let's see what our 6 months looks like. So yeah, so they were down here trading at 997, and then over time they've shot up to, let's see, a high looked like a 1714 back in February, and now they're at 1628. But I expect for this to go up as people start to be able to buy and consume this as well too. Let's look up and see if ACHR is available. As a private symbol, no, it's not available yet. Okay, so you need to look for, if you're looking at stocks for this particular spec, ACIC would be your number. So that's Archer, all right? All right, so this other one I like is their ticker symbol is MILE, MILE. All right, Metro Mile. Let's look at it for, that's the 1 day. Let's look at it over 5 days, then 6 months. And you see a lot of up and down in here for these 6 months. I mean, for that 1 month. And then let's look at 6 months. So steadily on an incline over the 6 months. See some big dips here though. All right, so what is Metro Mile? Okay, this one is, let me pull this up. All right. So pay per mile car insurance. All right. So they're coming out with car insurance based on how much you drive can set in the same grade. So tapping into the insurance market here when we're looking at this. So pay per mile. So if you drive 10,000 miles, if you drive 6,000 miles, if you drive 2,500 miles. So I guess they're going based upon like what you actually drive. I wonder if there's some type of meter that's put inside of this in order to get that mileage check. Okay, so here's the app. In the app, it puts you in control. So yep, some type of app. So you have an app that's on your phone, and I guess you're probably gonna have to turn on your GPS. So that's tracking. So remember, data is golden, right? So it's gonna take measurements of where you have actually driven to, and based upon that, that's what you're paid. So I wonder if they got a set rule of like, hey, you have this type of car, you're gonna pay this, and then if you don't use up based upon that mileage, we'll reimburse you on some type of reimbursement thing. But this is just speculation for me. I have to read on it. But here are the states that they're offering coverage in right now. And then let's go look at what their careers look like. All right. So you can join their team. They're powered by data science. They automatically tell you that. So when I hear data science, for those that have been on the meetup and the live that we've been talking data science, I've talked about careers with that. So immediately things that come to mind are Snowflake and Databricks. I'm actually going to bring up Databricks as well too. We're going to talk about that. All right. So here we are. We got product. They're looking for a content designer. They're based out. This looks like they're based out of San Francisco. They're doing development for iOS, and probably Android here. They're out of Boston, so it seems like they got their staff there. So device engineer, remote out of in California, probably could be anywhere. Let's keep scrolling down. Software remote means senior software engineer remote. Senior software engineer with Android. Telematics. What is telematics? Let's go look that up. Telematics. What is telematics? Real-time fleet telematics. Improve fleet productivity beyond GPS telematics. Telematics. What does Wikipedia say? Telematics is an interdisciplinary field that encompasses telecommunications, vehicle technologies, road transport, road safety, electrical engineering, sensors. Okay, basically, so you got your sensors that are reading where you go on wireless communication. All right, the technology of sending and receiving and storing, and this may be a little small, sending and receiving, storing information using telecommunication devices to control remote objects. All right. So I'm still thinking IoT. So vehicle tracking, trailer tracking, container tracking, mobile satellite navigation, and so forth. So pretty cool for this. I'll give this link for D to post, so you can look at that. So that's pretty cool. Another engineering aspect that you could get into as well too. Another discipline. All right. So what else do we find on here? Android telematics, production ops. I see SRE written all over this, trying to make sure that the application stays up. They're looking for recruiters and finance, someone who does SEC reporting, SEC reporting manager. Let's look at that. I have no idea, but we're gonna look at it. I have no idea what an SEC reporting manager actually does, but hey, somebody in the audience may actually know. All right, so role. We are searching for a SEC reporting and technical account manager who will be directly responsible for managing the preparation of our SEC filing, including our 10-Qs, our S8s, and TKs. And then they have a whole slew of information in here in terms of like, what do you need to do? Identify and apply technical guidance, enhance accounting memos, and provide training of internal finance and accounting group. So those of you who are in finance and you want to know if you can work at a tech company, here's the opportunity to work at a tech company, and it looks like you got to have some technical chops as well too, from what I'm reading here. But what those technical chops are, I really don't know. Be a CPA in technical accounting and financial reporting. Excellent use of GAAP, including ability to research accounting literature, strong communication, excellent Excel, spreadsheet, Microsoft Word, team player, strong intellectual curiosity and desire to understand business. Some nice to haves. Here's what they're offering: 12 weeks of paid weeks of leave for a child and birth adoption, anniversary gifts for 5 years, and 6-week paid sabbatical. Not everybody offers a sabbatical, so that gives you some time to do what you want to. In 13 paid holidays, 2 which are flex, remote work options, scheduling, so forth. So you got some interesting benefits there. So I'll post this so you all can get a chance to check that out. All right, so that was Metro Mile or Metro Mile, Metro Mile. So we went over Archer, we're going over Metro Mile, we're going over Lilium Jet, my favorite. We have we gone over ET Rover? No, we have not gone over ET Rover. So let's go over ET Rover. That's next. All right, ET Rover. This is the world's largest network of 5-star pet sitters and dog walkers, and it announces a plan to become a public company via a merger with the True Wind Capital SPAC, Nebula Carvel acquisition, the 8th platform investment. So Nebula Carvel. So let's grab that. and paste. Nebula Carvel. All right, Nebula Carvel acquisition completes a 275 million initial public offering. That was on the 20th of December the 11th of 2020 last year. So there's some other things that are rolling into this particular one. So let's go look at it's a blank check company by TrueWin and led by Adam H. Claimer and James H. Green. All right, so let's look at what we're looking at here, or what I'm looking at. All right, Rover, the largest five-star network of pet sitters, dog walkers, announces a plan to go public via a merger with TrueWin. We just looked at that SPAC and this one. They have over 2 million pet parents have booked a service on Rover with more than 500,000 pet care providers. Transactions values combined of 1.3 billion and is expected to provide approximately 325 million in profit. As part of the transaction, additional investors have committed to participate in the transaction through 50 million private placement in common stock. So here, let's go look at the jobs that they have. All right, so they go over here under engineering. They have a GitHub repo, by the way, and I have a posting for that. So let's look at explore engineering careers. All right, so right now they have everything based out of Seattle. They have software engineers for Android, their messaging platform, daytime traveling services, and messaging platform mobile. I'm not sure if that's just because right here they got Android. I'm not sure if this is for everything else. Just probably a little mix of everything there. But that is who they are. Here is their GitHub repo. Where if you were looking to go on to work with them, I would go look at their GitHub repo. Look and see what they have here. You can see Objective-C. They're written in Go. There is Ruby. There's Python. More Python, JavaScript. See what else we see. Objective-C. We have some Rust. Bolto Core, that would be Python. More Python. So this gives you an idea of what their tech stack looks like. So if you were trying to say, hey, what type of tech stack do they have? You can get a quick glance at their tech stack, and then you can go back to their engineering positions, right? And then look at what their software engineer, what you'll be working on, right? So let's say professional, comfort, entire, blah, blah, blah. So let's see, enjoy building customer facing products, have a passionate for API design, observability, and building platforms. So we kind of touched on this week with SREs, but also having the ability to have the ability to write APIs, and as well as understanding how to keep those APIs up. Also understanding API design. You can go to swagger.com. Let's go there now. When we're talking about APIs, close that. This history. Let's go here and let's go to Swagger and then API. This is how you can look at. So here they got it right here, API and design tools for teams right here. So then I would go one step further and say API design, and I just type in best practices. And the reason why I type in best practices is because it just gives me an overview of, like, what do people consider best practices. What does that look like? And so you see how you have three right here, one from MuleSoft, one from Stack Overflow, and somebody wrote that up on Stack Overflow as a blog, and then Swagger. So let's go here, and I would look at all three of these to come up with, like, hey, what was somebody, and again, common core things that are considered best practices. I don't put my email and stuff in there, but Let's go here to Stack Overflow and see what they have. So you can get an idea, like accept and respond with JSON. Again, use nouns instead of verbs in the endpoints and paths. Name collections with plural nouns. So again, now you're starting to get into some things that you can, as you're starting to learn some things that you incorporate for yourself. So if you get into an interview and they ask you like, what are some of the best practices that you use, or you can ask back to the person that's interviewing you, what are the best practices that you use? Again, keep thinking about ways that you can improve your skills and improve your writing and so forth. So I'm going to post this because I think this is important just to, have an idea of. All right. So that's best practices for your APIs. All right, so now let's go on to my favorite. One of my favorites. A lot of them are my favorites, but let's go. All right, so now let's look at. I don't know if you all saw the big announcement that's coming out about Databricks. So Databricks is set to IPO. So like Snowflake, Databricks is going to IPO at predicted to IPO at 28 billion. What is Databricks? Databricks combines data and AI together on their platform. You can see who's already using them, Shell, and so forth. But Comcast and so forth. So reliable data engineering, SQL analytics of all your data, collaborative data science, and product machine learning. All this is considered your data engineering. They also have some examples. You can watch the demo as well too. Start understanding it. And it's built for a multi-cloud strategy, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. And they also have classes as well too. So, you can get a chance to, play with their product and so forth. So always come down here and say, hey, see, try Databricks, their demo. Here's their documentation. Here's their training. Let's click on training. All right. So you can become, so for $200, you become a certified associate developer for Databricks. You could be on 2.4. That was 3.0. And here's their listing when you start talking about data science and a Databricks certified administrator. So the Databricks this one is an Azure Databricks certified associate platform administrator certification. Assesses the understanding of the basic network infrastructure and security and identity and access cluster usage and automation of Azure Databricks platform. So again, something to look at. Let's click on that. Let's see. They got some prereqs that you need to understand, and then they go through and help you. It's self-paced, and they prepare you for the exam. And then you take the exam. The exam is a minimum passing score of 70%, 60 multiple choice, and 120 minutes. So you essentially could, get your certification out of this for this. They have what they consider a learning path. Platform admin, data engineer, SQL analyst, those that are looking at SQL, and then business leaders. You may not be technical. You may just, want to lead in terms of being a business leader inside of an understanding data science and so forth. So they have a whole set of classes that you can go train up on and so forth. So again, just something to keep in mind. So here is the announcement on that was on CNBC. UiPath is one, but Databricks is the other. They set the stage for a direct listing with huge funding runs. So UiPath is something separate from Databricks, but UiPath has confidentially filed to go public on Monday. That's 750 million at a $35 billion evaluation. And then you can see Databricks announced a $1 billion financing round at a $28 billion evaluation. So again, when we're talking about these companies, get in before the big change happens, right? Seeing it here in this article, they talk about Snowflake as well too. So careers at Databricks. All right, so you get the corporate operations management, customer success operation, education and training. Maybe you want to be a technical instructor. Maybe you want to get in and start looking at how you could teach others Databricks and so forth and so on. So that's something to think about. And then also professional services. So one thing I can also actually say is this is the mindset that you have to think about as you're looking at these stocks, as you're looking at these companies and jobs, is how do you see yourself, right? Do you see yourself as an employee transitioning into leadership? Do you see yourself as a person who wants to become a partner with Databricks and sell their service and become a reseller? Or do you see yourself actually maybe being like a consultant and you going into different companies and consulting with them, like, hey, this is the best way to use Databricks. Here's how you use it in AWS, and here's how you use it in Azure, and here's how you use it over here in Google Cloud. This is my recommendation for you. Here's some best practices to follow. Remember what I say all the time, you are the solution when you walk in. Be the solution when you walk in. All right. So resident solutions architect. Remember, we talked about this, being able to, identify solutions for people. So then they have engineering, a whole slew of engineering, machine learning platform, runtime, tools and infrastructure, backend, data engine internals, just a slew of jobs here. And they have the training out there for their certifications. So, you could easily work on getting that. Look right here, software engineer TSSCI, top secret SCI only. So that right there lets me know that's some type of government contract right there. And it's based out of DC and it's based out of Seattle. That sounds like AWS. Sounds like you're probably working with AWS on that. That's what that sounds like to me, but yeah, that's my thoughts. All right. So last but not least, who's all involved in this? So I was watching this guy's YouTube channel this morning. His YouTube channel. I have to bring up his name, give credit to him. But basically, he was saying this morning that these are the people that have invested: Amazon, Alphabet, which is Google, Salesforce, and Microsoft. Of course, you would think, you would see that those people have invested in that, and you can see that from the actual certifications and so forth. So now, let's look at one last thing. Let me see. Is that everything I have for Databricks? Yeah, I think that's everything I have for Databricks. All right. So we've explored Databricks. We've explored Rover, Lilium Jet, ACHR, Metro Mile. This one here, I couldn't find any jobs on this. This one is called MYX. Did it not come up? Oh man, it didn't come up. They must have taken that down. Well, that sucks. So here we go. It's called MYX. It is in a SPAC, and it's called the Beachbody Company, and it's being traded this week. And I've heard a lot of people saying they made money off of this. So right here. So MYX Fitness. So they're redefining home fitness. See. So they have a professional grade bike, a heart monitor, so forth. And I think this is just to get in the game with Peloton. That's how he looked at it. For what they were trying to do. Let's see. Beachbody has said on Wednesday that on-demand interactive cycling provider will become a part of a parent company called Beachbody Company, and will operate under Beachbody On Demand, OpenFit, and MYX. The deal is supported by a private investment company, and I'll put this over so you see what I'm reading. Private investment company of $225 million, led by institutional investors such as Fidelity Management and Research Company and Fertitta or Fertitta Capital, Forest Road Acquisition, a special purpose acquisition SPAC. This is the SPAC that they're under. Is led by Keith Horn, a former operating officer of hedge fund Elliott Management Corporation. Former TikTok CEO Kevin Mayer is strategic advisor to this. So that's what I got that from. This is the SPAC here. Let's go and look that up. See, Forest Road acquisition. Let's see what we can get out of that. Let's move this back over. And let's see what we find. I couldn't find any jobs on their website, by the way. All right, so here it is. Why Forest Road acquisition stock jumped today? All right, look. The SPAC Forest Road files for a IPO. This is 1 day ago of 300 million. Let's click on that. All right. So FRX, that's what we need to be looking at. Let's go on Yahoo Finance and look at FRX. All right. So, yep, Forest Road acquisition. Let's look at it for, that's what it looked like for 1 day. Let's look at what it looks like for 5 days, 1 month out. So it's slow, and then jumps, and then 6 months out, right? So let's go back, because they were like, why did they jump? Oh, where's that at? All right, it was this one. Why did Forest Road acquisition jump today? What happened? Shares of a special purpose, or this SPAC, soared over 40% on Friday. Dang, I missed it. The SPAC was announced earlier this month and is planning for a 3-way merger with Beachbody Company and MYX Fitness. The news surrounding the filing of the initial public offering to raise $300 million. But Forest Acquisition 2 is completely separate than the sibling SPAC, so forth and so on. This new SPAC with MYX, should you invest $1,000 in Forest Acquisition right now? Before you consider that, you'll want to hear this. Investing legends Motley Fool co-founders co-founders David and Tom Gardner just revealed that what they believe are the 10 best stocks. This must be a thing. Let me see, the online investing service they've run for nearly 2 days. Yeah, this is something else. That didn't answer my question. Should you invest? So if I were you, I'd probably put it on a watch list for Monday to see what it looks like, see if it got some dips and so forth, and looking at that. All right, so that was MYX. I didn't find any jobs on their website. I'm assuming the jobs are you are a fitness guru or something of that nature, and you're going to be on demand for training. So they probably have some type of sign-up sheet for that. That's what my thought process is. So that was MYX that I went through. Rover, we've done that. Databricks, I did that. All right. So for other news that I was looking at. So here, now these aren't specs or jobs or anything. This is more or less like just things that I found over time. IBM hybrid cloud strategy is gaining steam. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because somebody may be invested in IBM and want to take a look at what their stock is doing. Let's go and look and see how it's performing. Let's go Yahoo Finance again. See, got the tab that's open. That's cool. And then it should be just IBM. All right, 118 for the day, for the 5 days, volatile for the month, volatile. For the 6 month, volatile. Year to date, for the year, oh, volatile. So I guess you could play an option on that it's gonna always stay down, right? If you want to play an option on that. So it's just something to think about when you look at this one here. So I also you don't have to take financial advice from me, but this one is some things that I found this morning as well. This one is how to make compounding money. They were on this morning and they had a boot camp. And they were talking about how to make compounding money for your stocks and so forth. So just something to think about. There, as you can see, it's look like it's still live because I got this on pause. It look like it's still live. So it look like they're still going. Another one is that you want to pay attention to that I also took note of is I've talked about this, but this is actually becoming more prevalent. Is no code, low code. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because a lot of people are coming out saying, hey, do I need to know how to code to get into tech? And the answer is no. You can look up the young lady that actually got an IPO for not knowing how to code, but for using no code, low code. So when you start looking at no code, low code, it's called on in Amazon. It's called Amazon Honey. It's called Honeycode in Amazon. So Honeycode, Amazon. And why I mention this because a lot of manufacturing companies use this when you want to start building mobile and web apps right here without knowing how to code. It's really like a drop and drag. Then you create your app from that. So again, in order to get into tech, do you need to know how to code? Nope. Here it is. Here's a platform, Amazon Honeycode. Build web apps, mobile apps without writing code, right? They walk you through what it looks like, how to build this application that you want to use, and they walk you through create your account, so forth and so on. I'm going really fast. Sorry, but it's like create a simple to-do list application. Again, manufacturing, a lot of when you're looking at additive manufacturing, RPA, robotic process. Hold on, RPA, robotic process something. RPA. Yeah, there it is, right there. Come on. About RPA. This is not the website, but just again, robotic process automation. That's what I want to look up. Software that enables you with tools to create your own digital robots to automate any business process. Right. So robotic process automation. All right. They got a one-on-one, but here is. Oh, there it is. You just saw that, right? UiPath. Look at there. Come right back to it. Right? I'll post this link in chat. All right. See the question on what do I think about ONTX or ZOM? I am in ZOM. I think I got 125 shares of ZOM. I'm riding the wave. ONTX, I'm not sure about. I had to look that up. What's the story behind them? Let's go to Yahoo Finance real quick. I don't know about the company itself, so we need to look at the company. So ONTX. Okay, therapeutics. Who's SPAC are they in? Are they in anybody's SPAC? 5 day. They got a big jump. 1 month increase. Let's see. Who are they with? And what do they do? Biopharmaceutical company. What do they say? Potentially a massive market as intense and competitive, blah, 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 blah. Why did they soar? So forth and so on. That was 2 days ago. Yeah, I have a subscription to Seeking Alpha. Oh no, I'll have to look a bit more than. But while we're here, let's click on them. See what kind of job they got. Partnering, investing, stock information, contact, pipeline, about us. Let's go there. You have any careers down here somewhere? Don't see any careers. You know what? On these pharmaceutical places, I normally don't see careers. They usually get like they go in under a SPAC and get acquired, and then once they go in under that SPAC, what I usually find is they'll later on have jobs. So I would look to see what SPAC they're falling under, if they're under any SPAC. But I have to do some investigation on them. I don't know anything about them. See, they did a public offering of 28.75 million of common stock. See, they did another one back on February the 10th for 25 million of common stock. They must be trying to raise money. And then they did one in January. Yeah, they keep trying to raise money. I bet you probably follow the trend. Every time they offer a stock, they get their price. They get a bump. I bet you went back on those days. You'll probably find a bump on each one of those days. I bet you'll find a bump. Yep, holding like you. All right, and this one here is it's called Z-Spac. So it's called Z-Work, but it's on my thing. I got Z-Spac. So Z-Work is a new SPAC with unusual target for the gig economy, and this has been going. They've been talking about this all week. Basically, they've been talking about the gig economy space is a universe that's so far seen only one other SPAC-driven company, Talkspace, for remote and contract workers, promoted in television ads by former Olympic swimmer Mike Phelps. The new team's vehicle is Z-Work, a SPAC that it took public on January the 28th, raising 230 million. They're now talking to entrepreneurs and venture capitals back newcomers in their new view. This is a structural change in how people work, and COVID accelerated it, says Z-Work. The companies are now being forced to deal with remote workforce, and that change means they need to have new many things. So it's truly an inflection point that gives us a chance to back a new wave of world class entrepreneurs. So they're backing they're backing the gig workers. Many of these gig workers have 3 or 4 jobs. My analyst for deals in Wharton, who's pursuing his passion in photography in between shots in places like Tanzania and so forth, and he's probably making over 200,000. I still don't understand. I guess with this, I don't understand what's in this fact. That's what I was trying to figure out. D, if you post the link, people can take a look at it. Yep, employment is no longer tied to location. Talent is nationwide. Let's see. I don't see much of anything else that they were talking about, like what's in this bag. But again, this is just something to keep mind of. You can check it out for yourself. They went public already, so it's a thing. See, Z-SPAC team harbors plenty of experience of conventional IPOs, and those encounters convince them that SPACs are a much better way to take company public. The IPO is blah blah. That's something else. Blah blah blah. Funding and flow. So just check it out. See what you think. I'm just putting it out there so you can have something to research. We're coming up on our time. Were there any questions? Anything that I missed? I'm going through. I don't see anything. All right. So one other one that I actually wanted to bring up. Hold on. Let me let me pull up my email here. And I can tell you what that one is. Hold on. Pull this up real quick. I don't know. Have y'all been in the CCIV? I've been in the CCIV. So I'm getting my alert. All right. So this one came over this morning. Well, is it this morning? No, it was 2 days ago. So just something I want you to be aware of right here. Former Disney executives, mayor, and stages planning a new SPAC public offering acquisition. So they're planning a new SPAC. Again, look, Forest Road Acquisition Corp agreed with a 3-way merger last week. So there we go again. That Forest Road Acquisition. I think that FRX. So be on the lookout with them. They're doing something with Disney. So I put them on my watch list because they probably you probably can get a good run out of them or a good spike out of them for that stock there. So I remember that's something to watch out. How does a beginner get started? Where can we find coursework? Are you part of the Slack group as well? We had 2 meetings this week, one last night, one on Wednesday. We'll have another meetup again on Wednesday as well too. So check it out. We also the meetup that we had on Wednesday was like 3.5 hours long. The meetup we had last night was 2 hours long. Just to give a general overview of like what you can do. We did a mock interview as well too. So that's something that we were this was on the fly. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'm still positive. I rode the wave. And that's all we have for this week. I do have some other ones that I want to go over, but I need to get more information on it in terms of like, should you invest, should you not invest, and then also who's over it and the careers. Like, so the whole point again behind tech stocks and jobs is to show you who's IPO and who has stocks, and then on top of that, what kind of careers are available at those companies right before they IPO. So I will be on the lookout for that. And I also want to give a shout out to sans.org. I did a talk over there for cybersecurity on dealing with the cloud. How would you explain that and to various people in cloud security as well too? So it's just something I wanted to give a shout out to. This is a new model right here. This is actually coming out. It's called they pronounce it SASE. I'll post this link. Those of you that are in cybersecurity, this is new from SANS, but it encompasses so much: IAM, access control, zero trust, secure web gateway, remote access, and you can see that this is a framework that is new, that's coming out. So I would read through that. In fact, anybody who's in tech, I would read through this. SASE as a framework. This is what the people are pushing when we're talking about public cloud, internet, SaaS, the data center, and then back to the different locations and the mobile worker. So this is the new framework that they're actually pushing. So I would take a look at it, become familiar with it. I'm sure that somewhere in there's probably some certification on SaaS to get a framework certification under this, more than likely. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking at these things as well too. Again, thank you all for coming out. It's been real. If you're not a part of our YouTube our YouTube, if you're not a part of our Slack channel, you need to get in our Slack channel. Tons of resources, a lot of communication going in there. You can't be in tech and be alone. You need a group. You need a support system. That's what we're here to do, provide that support system, as well as give you good info. And you know what? If you didn't do it, go ahead and hit the like button, smash smash subscribe. Make sure you also tell a friend. And don't forget, last but not least, we can't do this without you, and we can't do it without your donations. So please donate to Women in Linux, and also don't forget to buy our merch. We need your help. We need your support. We got big things coming. We got some classes coming, and we need your support for that. We're trying to make sure we're trying to get you employed in tech and stay employed. And if we don't care about your background. If you come from accounting, if you're trying to transition over, if you used to just sit there and bury people or whatever it is you did before, we don't care. Tech has room for everybody. Remember, every company is a tech company. Thank you and have a good evening.